Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Have you ever had to put your plans on hold due to symptoms of generalized myasthenia gravis or GMG? Like taking that weekend trip, talking with friends, or enjoying a meal. Learn about a treatment option that may help. Visit treatgmg.com to learn more. That's treatgmg.com.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Thanks for checking in here on a busy Monday. If you're watching the show on YouTube TV, listening on SiriusXM channel 158, or any of our fine radio stations that we're on across the country, welcome in. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard, live in Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. In this hour, Stanford Steve going to join the program, ESPN. More on week one from him, who he likes, who he wants to fade. Some of the marquee matchups as well. In pocket plays that we have coming up in about 45 minutes. And Pauly, the week one now upon us, week zero in the rear view mirror. Always good to have it back, but I love what college football has turned into with the week one matchups that we've had now for a long, long time. It only continues to get better. And we got, what did you say earlier, 3 matchups with top 10 teams playing each other this weekend?
Yeah, a lot of teams.
Come on.
Yep, hard to gauge. There's always a major disappointment. Every year, a preseason top 10. Doesn't even lucky to finish 500. You had the Florida State mess last year as well. So there's a lot of these teams where, okay, preseason top 10, you're going to have a good year. They could be in the playoff, and you'll probably look up and someone will go 5-7.
Have you made a bet yet on the Texas-Ohio State game?
No. And I like what Brad Powers said last week. There's nothing wrong with sitting back, watching, and learning, and then make your assessment or adjustment after that.
Well,
there's unknowns here with NIL and all these transfers and what happens. And again, there's going to be major disappointments. So there's nothing wrong with just watching, taking it in, and going from there and sitting week one out.
I think that's some really good advice. I'm going to be treading lightly. As of right now, I am anyway. I think I only have one bet on one of these games. Talked about that earlier in the program, and I'll give it out in pocket as well. But I think that makes a lot of sense because you don't know what these teams are going to look like with all this movement. And also, as I started the show, 3 minutes into the season, the Farmageddon game over in Dublin, the kid from K-State decides he wants to catch the punt at his own 8-yard line. How'd that go for him? Mm-hmm. Oh, fumble, muff punt. Iowa State takes the ball over. Now, they didn't score there, so that was beneficial to them, I guess. But regardless, man, Paul, he had 2 defenders that were like a yard away from him. And you rant about that all the time. I rant about it all the time. Let it go into the end zone. Just who cares? You're at the 8-yard line. If it lands at the 5, so be it. Or at the 3-yard line, don't take that chance. And then we saw what happened with Hawaii to begin the game. After Stanford kicked the field goal, they kick off. The kid waves it off like this, then grabs it at the 1-yard line. Well, that's not a touchback. So it's Hawaii ball at their own 1 or 2 yard line. The next snap, kid is sacked pretty much in the end zone. Could have been a safety, but he fumbles. Touchdown Stanford, you're buried 10-0. Now they came back and won the game, and they covered. But I'm just telling you that with all of that said, these players are basically still in the preseason as well. So if you tread lightly in week one, I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now that said, let me give you my biggest plays of the week.
Yep. And maybe Sunday night's a blowout with Notre Dame and Miami. But
which way?
But it's every time Notre Dame goes there, it's a blowout, and they get their asses kicked. That's staggering. 0-6 and 27 points per game on average. That stat. But also thinking about what if Notre Dame wins that game, though, with the rest of the schedule and how it sets up and how good they might be on paper when you're talking playoff and what happened. Notre Dame, the winner of the Clemson-LSU game. I mean, it's just these are huge from a for what the winner can do with the resume and what it looks like to make the playoffs and how those things will move.
What do you make
after
of
the game.
what do you make of Freeman overall as a head coach?
Very good.
Yeah, I'm
almost won the whole thing last year.
Sure, I'm pretty close to calling him like the bee's knees.
Sure.
I think
that's the why it gives most people pause with Penn State. It's yeah, okay, I have to do it reluctantly, or yeah, but I can't believe I'm doing it. I saw Pat Forty tweeted that out. It's just I'll take Penn State, but can Franklin finally win a big game?
Yeah, so I made that case. It's in the college football betting guide here at VSiN as well. I picked Penn State to win it all. I have them on a couple of different bets to win the whole thing. Look, that's tough to overcome, right? And it's tough to get there. Now, what happened yesterday in golf? The people who have been on Tommy Fleetwood for 5 years were finally rewarded. You're still down lifetime betting that guy to win tournaments, but it finally paid off. And for those who drew a line through him like many years ago, potentially, well, you're not benefiting from him winning now over the weekend. And I would go back and say kind of the same thing to previous title winners in college football. We said the same thing about recent guys. We said the same thing about Harbaugh, right? Made the playoff a couple of different times.
Yeah.
It was not pretty against Georgia. Then you allowed 50 plus points at TCU. He eventually won the whole thing. And we've said that about other guys as well. And look, I think James Franklin in big games, the resume speaks for itself. It's been terrible.
Yep.
But on paper, I firmly believe that they are right there with any of the other best teams and potentially better than the teams at the very top. So at like 8-1, I thought for sure that was worth some money.
Saw Drew Butler. He was in town too, like everyone signing up for these contests. He says Georgia looks great so far. Quarterback play, great roster, loaded. Watch out for the Bulldogs. Another one too, which, preseason top 5, but I think he says they're going to be okay at quarterback with Stockton.
Yeah. The two teams that are like at the very top of the transfer portal and what they did with the NIL, Texas Tech, tons of hype.
Yep.
People are firmly buying into that team. And the other one is LSU. They had an amazing portal. And they have a top 5 pick potentially coming back at quarterback in Nussmeier. Now, Kelly has never won his week 1 game since taking over as the head coach. Like, that's a problem. Remember out here in Las Vegas, they
Down
were
to the table.
Touchdown favorite basically
get
against
this
USC.
right.
Yeah.
What happens? Yep.
Sure. But maybe that'll correct itself. And all of this hype on, look, I bought in. I have several bets like cross-sport parlays with Clemson simply winning the ACC. I say that in quotes. But I haven't bet them to win the national title. There's no Klubnik to win the Heisman. And their lane, that place is going to be absolutely juiced to the gills this weekend when they take on LSU. I think it's too many points. So I had to take LSU plus the 4.
Great game.
Awesome game.
Brett McMurphy was on Friday, live from Circa in Kentucky. And we start the day Saturday with number 1 against number 2. How good is this? And I asked him if he thinks Arch Manning is going to live up to the hype. Are you buying the Arch Manning hype?
No. Am I buying a Heisman ticket of Arch? No. I mean, I'm buying the hype. He's going to be very good.
Okay.
The problem is, Pauly, he's been built up so much he can't live up to it.
Oh, well said.
Like Paul Feinbaum said he's the best quarterback since Tim Tebow. I mean, I'm waiting for Feinbaum to go on and say that Arch is going to win 4 Heisman trophies. He said everything but that.
Yeah.
Bring back Bino Cook, rest in peace. I mean, give me a break. And the issue with that, it's not fair. I think the kid will be very good. But again, I think like anything else, when you are picked and put on top of something, what happens? Everybody tries to tear you down. Everybody tries to knock you down. I'll say this. I see him there at 650 to win the Heisman. If they win at Ohio State, I guarantee you that'll drop to 3-1.
Yes.
I guarantee it. But here's a little stat for you.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money on that. It's been 11 years since the preseason Heisman Trophy favorite has actually won the Heisman Trophy, and that was Marcus Mariota at Oregon in 2014. So I don't think Arch is going to win the Heisman. Not that he deserves it. I just feel like he won't be able to live up to that. And I also don't think Texas will win the national championship. 19 of the last 21 years, the preseason AP number 1 team has failed to win the national championship. Well, congrats, Texas. You get your first number 1 preseason ranking in school history. Now you got to try to, upend history by becoming only the 3rd team in the last 22 years to win it from the number 1 ranking at the outset.
Very good.
That was awesome.
He also added that Clemson is a lock to make the playoff. When told they're minus $2 to do so, he said that's missing a 0.
Oh, wow.
That they mark it down.
It's the schedule again, right?
Well, and then what's in the rest of the ACC too. But
Sure.
That's it. Those are 3 great games to start.
So based on what he said, is there a quarterback who comes to mind over the years who had that hype that you can think of? And I mean,
Paulus?
look at who I pulled up right now.
Did you? Yeah. There you go.
So for
that was the line. Beano Cook.
Yeah, for the younger demo, you won't even know who that guy is. Ron Paulus, quarterback at Notre Dame. Can you believe? By the way, he's 51 years old.
No way.
Oh my God. 51.
Why'd you say that?
What? So, Beano Cook, he's going to win 2 Heisman trophies. Kid flopped.
At least, yeah. Couldn't play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that there have been many others. But I said this earlier too. Like I would, if a sports book flashed Arch Manning at 10 or 12 to 1 right now to win the Heisman, I would gladly take that. But plus 650 right now with all this hype, I think everything that Brett said is accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And also the whole number 1 thing, right? When you start off that high in the AP poll, it doesn't work out well in terms of winning the whole thing. And as you said to start this hour, like every year, a team in the top 10 fails miserably.
Is Beck going to lead Miami? Will he have a down year? He had inconsistent play at Georgia at the end, maybe. We'll see how a lot of question marks about Moore at Oregon. Unknowns, hard to gauge. Stanford Steve's got a good list coming up. I mean, there's a lot of teams it was Arizona State take a step back. I'm not there buying Illinois at 12. Michigan freshman quarterback at 14. Old Miss lost a lot of guys. I like SMU. I think Florida and Tennessee 17-18 is aggressive. And certainly BYU shouldn't be. I think Texas Tech deserves to be up there higher with how much money they spent and what they have coming back.
When is that BYU Stanford game?
When is BYU Stanford?
Yeah, I got a message on that earlier saying that BYU is going to absolutely destroy that team. Well, who's not going to destroy them?
Oh, it's okay. So it's coming up.
Is it coming up
next
soon?
week?
It is.
It's
okay.
September 6th.
Yeah,
and
it's
at home.
That could be one to circle.
Okay, interesting. Good. I like that game we have Thursday too. In addition to Boise, I think East Carolina can hang around with NC State. That's a sneaky good game Thursday.
Huh?
Think you're better than the experts? Prove it in the Edge Boost Average Joe contest. Same format as a Circa Friday Football Invitational, which has been extended to 3 hours now with Matt Humans. Contestants are average Joes instead of the pros. Free to play. Register anytime throughout the season. Weekly and quarterly prizes. It's awesome prizes. And the grand prize, a spot in next year's Circa Invitational Field. Sign up now, vsin.com/Joe. The response has been off the hook. It's been incredible. Thanks to everyone involved. vsin.com/Joe. Get in it now.
The final week of August will be huge to determine one of our favorite bets to make throughout the entire baseball season. Find out what it is coming up here on VSiN.
Have you ever had to put your plans on hold due to symptoms of generalized myasthenia gravis, or GMG? Like taking that weekend trip, talking with friends, or enjoying a meal. Learn about a treatment option that may help. Visit treatgmg.com to learn more. That's treatgmg.com.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Pauly, a week from today is September 1st. That means it'll be the final month that we can bet this in Major League Baseball, and that is the most wins for a particular month throughout the season. For August, I'm on a handful of teams, including the Milwaukee Brewers, at 14-1. They started the month, could not have asked for anything better, on a 14-game winning streak. Then they were lucky to take 1 out of 5 games against the Cubs, and the Giants just took the series against them over the weekend. Giants stink.
Yeah, it was a bad loss yesterday.
So the Brewers have 17 wins. The Phillies have 15. Tigers, Padres each with 14. The Brewers have a 4-game series beginning tonight against Arizona and then 3 at Toronto, where starting pitchers go to die. The Phillies begin a 3-game set with the Mets tonight. Then they have 4 against Atlanta. How about this? Maybe we get helped out here in case we need it. The Phillies play Sunday Night Baseball.
Okay.
So it could come down to that game, and that way you could do a true hedge. Tigers, Padres, 14 each. Scooble goes tonight. Tigers have 3 at the A's, 3 at KC. Padres have 3 at Seattle and 3 at Minnesota.
That's doable for Detroit. They're 40-1, though. San Diego's 50-1. Philly's 4-1.
Yeah, and they only play 6 games each.
Range.
The Phillies and the Brewers each play 7 more games.
Well, get this one tonight, and they'd won every start by Woodruff until that Cubs start, although he wasn't feeling well and had the stomach issues. So we'll see if he bounces back, and they should be able to hit Rodriguez and get back on track tonight. I thought Joe Osborne had a good tweet about he's playing good market. He's playing hits over for Rodriguez that he allows.
Okay.
I think the Brewers will touch him up today, and Brewers taking money tonight as well.
Well, and then the other side, too, and I think you're part of this, right? The Phillies opened up, I think, as low as minus 112 in the game tonight. Sanchez takes on Senga. For the Mets, they're up to like $1.30 now, pretty much consensus across the board. But Sanchez has been arguably the best pitcher in baseball for 3 months now. June, July, and August. He's made 14 starts, and the numbers are absolutely impeccable.
Well, I don't know about better than Skeens.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
One's to scare. Skeens $8 now. One Cy Young.
Wow.
6+ innings, 14 in a row. ERA under 2 during that stretch, and he's being opposed by a guy who's all kinds of issues. Senga's got an ERA of 6 since the break, and the Mets aren't playing well. So they finally took 2 out of 3 against Atlanta, but Atlanta's a mess right now. And Strider goes tonight, who's got an ERA of 15 in this month, but they've lost 17 of 24. So I like the Phillies tonight again.
Let me give you a note. I'm glad you brought his name up. And I'm with you. I like the Phillies as well. This is on the Braves-Marlins game. Spencer Strider has allowed 29 hits and 20 runs in 3 starts so far this month. ERA north of 15, worst by any Braves pitcher in a calendar month. Since earned runs became an official stat in the NL back in 1912, he allowed 7 home runs over the stretch in 11 2/3 innings. 10 home runs over 77 2/3 over his first 14 starts of the season, which is just incredible when you think about that. Opposing hitters are absolutely scorching him. 475 average, 14 extra base hits. He was pulled in the 4th inning on Monday without recording an out.
Yeah.
Now, this might be a key here.
Keep going.
He noted that his fastball, quote, just isn't getting outs. It's not moving the way that I need it to move, end of quote.
And he's favored today.
Yeah, and when you compare his numbers on his 4-seamer pre-surgery to post-surgery, the velocity is down almost 2 miles an hour. The vertical drop is moved by like 3 full inches. The horizontal streak, hardcore breakdown here, is not even close. The batting average allowed is up 50 points, and the whiff percentage is down almost 14 points during that time. And the starting pitcher is telling you, this is like Verlander earlier this year.
Yeah. Not working.
Yeah.
I'm trying to invent ways to get people out. Like they know what's coming. Now, the Braves just took 4 out of 5 against Miami, and they're reeling too. But that's where maybe you want to go over 8 then, but guy's $1.20. I can't believe it, how bad he's been.
You know what? I'm going to look for his outs prop right now. Strider is 16.5 tonight. Ooh. So he's going to almost touch 6 innings.
What do you want to do with DeGrom?
Probably stay away.
First start since the middle of August.
Hey, doesn't that freak you out a little bit here?
Yeah. It's a big stretch, though, for him. 9 in a row against teams with a losing record. Seager hitting 500 career against the Angels, and he's hitting 445 career against Soriano. So good job against Cleveland. You got DeGrom back here. Still, you got a lot of work to do, but at least you salvaged your season. And it's not a total disaster after what happened in the last series, though.
I don't know.
I don't think that's. I think that's aggressive for him to go 7. He'll probably go 5 or 6 tonight.
Yeah, I'm concerned after that because there's been a lot of wear and tear on him. And again, the guy who has been injured frequently throughout his entire career.
Yeah.
And now to go to war with him laying like $1.90 in that spot. And did you say the outs prop on him?
I didn't say it, but I thought it wasn't. Was he have to go almost 7 innings?
You know what? He might not be listed tonight. I'm looking at a nod screen right now that has everything on there. Wait, there it is. It's 17.5.
No. Yeah.
So he's got to go 6 full tonight.
Okay.
I know Angels have been reeling since they swept the Dodgers, but
tough.
Yeah.
I like the Royals, though. I'm going to back my guy Cameron. 20-3 run against the White Sox. Witt's hitting .445 against them. Cameron's been good, but it's also a play against Smith, who's got an ERA of 7 and change last 9. I'll take the Royals, who are still hanging around.
I can add on to that game, by the way.
Yep, only 3 back now, as Seattle's been playing with their food. How do you lose that game 2-1 to the A's at home? Come on.
I know.
Somebody do something offensively.
Yep.
Wasted performance. But they took 2 out of 3, but the road trip before that was a disaster. So they were supposed to run away and hide here. I guess they could still catch Houston, but only 3 up on the Royals, so now they got to sweat this out for the last month.
So I'm seeing a K-prop tonight on Shane Smith for the White Sox at either 4.5, heavily juiced to the under, or 3.5, and it's either a little bit of plus money or right around even money the way it looks. Not plus 125, I stand corrected. Starting pitchers are 14-2-1 under their K-prop, last 17 against the Royals.
Yep.
This has been a thing for them going back to like last year where it was tough to strike them out. Yep. Not all of this year because they've had ups and downs as well, but right now they're currently in this hot streak.
Yep. And then that same thing, it's Toronto at home, and we have Toronto at home. The 28-6-1 under run.
Right.
But it is Joe Ryan, though, tonight.
Yeah, that's...
and he's coming off a bad start.
That's kind of when you want the guy, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you wanted to probably fade him in his last start when he was coming off a gem against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Max Scherzer, been solid, man. And at home, they're 42-21 overall. But Scherzer, 2.25 ERA last 5 starts, and he has lasted 6 innings or more in all 5 of those starts. Opposing hitters batting 197 against him in that span. Now, he has not faced the Twins since 2023, but 6-0 going back against the team with a 2.83 ERA. I would say this, though, all it takes is the starting pitcher on the opposing team to like shut down the offense tonight. So, and Joe Ryan has that capability for sure. That was a talking point for us when he went to Yankee Stadium in that game. Remember, because the Yankees, took the first 2 games in that series. It was pure domination against the Twins going back for the last 20 years. But Joe Ryan goes there and he's like, not tonight. And the Yankees couldn't touch him up at all. I will point this out with Skubal going tonight against the A's. 4-0 with a 2.14 ERA last 7 starts against this team. Now, they did touch him up for 4 runs back in June, but the Tigers scored 11 in that game and they won. Here's a guy to keep an eye on tonight. Brent Rooker.
Yes.
8 of 17 in his career, 3 dingers against Skubal.
Ooh.
And in that game back on June 24th, had a 2-run shot.
Skubal needs it, too. Down to $1.20. Cy Young. Here comes Crochet.
Crochet's right there to pull this off.
Their job. Yep. Great numbers. Lindor's got good numbers against Sanchez as well. And I think the Red Sox, I'm surprised they're favorite tonight. Going with an opener. But what a stretch here for Boston. 16 in a row against teams with a losing record. Only 9 games left against teams with a winning record. But Sagano's been good for Baltimore. You said it earlier. Their record with him and Rodgers on the mound, phenomenal. They lose every time it's somebody else.
That's right.
They've won 5 in a row when he's on the mound. He's 3-0 with a 1.91 ERA. Most difficult schedules left: Arizona, Cincinnati, and the Mets. Padres, easiest schedule left. Dodgers also have an easy schedule remaining with 31 games, 30 or so remaining. College football finally here. NFL right around the corner. If you want to bet this season with an edge, become a VSiN Pro subscriber. Instant access with both of our betting guides, team previews, power ratings, betting systems, best bets. Look for the updated NFL guide with new picks as well. And you'll get the morning email from Bill 80, every best bet, every host, every guest. Nigel on fire so far with soccer, the betting splits and market insights, a 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app, the betting tools, the pro systems, the betting systems and trends from Mackinnon, the prop analyzer, $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get it now. VSiN.com/subscribe.
All right, Stanford Steve on the program coming up next. What he's looking at, numbers stick out to him, matchups he likes for week 1, teams that he's down on, teams that he really likes, all coming up here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Happy college football today. and it's never felt better. More of it right now as we head out to the progressive guest line. As Stanford Steve, kind enough to join the program, obviously from ESPN and Sports Center here on a Monday as he's live in Queens. Little Mets action against the Phillies, little U.S. Open as well going on. What's up, pal? How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. The grind is, we're embracing the grind. We're here. Thursday, we leave for Columbus. Monday, we'll be in Chapel Hill for Belichick.
Oof.
Like it's
That's
on.
great.
It's on. We're ready to go. Everybody thinks they're a great team except for Stanford, and I get that, but everybody's in a great frame of mind right now.
Well, with the new landscape that we have here in college football, right, and everybody knows what that is by now, the transfer portal, the NIL, all this stuff. We saw TikTok dances on the field in Hawaii on Saturday, and it was enough to beat your head against the wall. At the teams at the top this year, which ones for you are maybe the toughest to gauge overall entering the season?
I make it easy for you here, Mitch. When I look at these 3 top 10 matchups we have in week 1, which is just fantastic with Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame, Miami, LSU, Clemson, I think they're all going to the playoff. And it's going to be really hard. I still think it's going to be hard moving forward. It was hard last year. Think about last year. Ohio State lost the worst possible game they could and regrouped and won the national championship. You're going to get a lot of that this year. I love that these 6 teams are playing tough games to start because with the criteria of the committee changing from strength of record and strength of schedule being more important, they're not, say LSU loses by a field goal, they're not going to get penalized as other teams did in the past. Now, if you lose as a double-digit favorite, you're going to get penalized. And that's what's great about this match. You're not going to, hang your hat on a loss in week 1. You're going to get better. Clemson got waxed last year, made the most of their opportunities. Miami falling at the end last year had a lot to do with that. But Clemson stayed in the fight, man, and they got their bid and they won their biggest game, beating SMU, and they played well enough in the playoff to Texas. So I look at these ranked teams playing each other this week that I like a lot. I like LSU and Clemson more than Texas and Ohio State right now because I feel like they know what they are made of. Clemson returns the most production in the country. LSU has a quarterback and a bunch of starters at other places that have shown they could do it. And I like Brian Kelly. I get they haven't won a season opener, but when you look at his teams prepared, turnovers were that 3-game losing streak by LSU last year was just turnovers. And they were in some brutal spots. And Alabama played their best game of the year. So I look at these 6 ranked teams as it's going to be hard, but don't analyze what you see this weekend. These are still 6 very good football teams.
Okay. How about a couple teams hard to gauge with what the announcement was today? Michigan going with a freshman and Underwood at quarterback, and also your thoughts on the Ducks with Moore.
Yeah, I put these guys in a category of Pauly of just. I'm not going to be surprised if these teams make the playoff. I'm not going to be surprised if they miss the playoff. And Michigan and Oregon are at the top of that list. Listen, Michigan, when you go back and look at it, I think Dave Revson on the Big Ten Network had them last year saying last year was the worst yards per play they have ever averaged since 1963. Oh. And then you figure they get it all together and they win their 2 biggest games of the year. And when I go back and watch that, people would say they want about the bowl game against Alabama. Michigan has all those guys coming back and they got some game wreckers on that defense. So if they get average to above average play from Underwood, they're going to be in the mix. They got a bunch of tough road games, but the mentality of that team, they believe in that culture, the head coach, and it starts with defense and running the football. That's what you want when you go on the road and you got to play games at Nebraska, for instance, and at USC. You need that kind of stuff. Oregon, everybody talks about the quarterback, but I look at the receivers with that receiving, and they've struck gold with receivers that they've had getting in the portal, developing. They do have this year's version of Jeremiah Smith, Bennett, the number 1 receiver in the country. I don't think he's at that level, but that's a lot when you're asking your true freshman 5-star to be the go-to guy in a team right now that I can't see an identity for on the offense. So Oregon, Michigan, they're kind of flip and flop for me. I won't be surprised if they make or miss the playoffs, but their upside is good enough to do it.
Yeah, and we were talking about this in the break too. Like a lot of the the middle of the pack teams in the Big Ten, they're hosting the big boys this year. And as we were saying, like I have a bet on Iowa to make the playoff. I think they're going to throw the fear of God into teams like Oregon and Penn State when they're playing them at home. The same thing could be said for Washington when they're playing like Ohio State. I think they're going to be really good this year with a dynamic quarterback. But I'm sure that you feel the same way about more teams in the Big Ten, yeah?
Yeah, I think September 20th, Big Ten starts, and Indiana hosts Illinois. That's a great football game with teams that have a huge upside this year. And I feel like I'm in the minority on this one. I lean still towards Indiana. Cignetti's a lot, but I love what they did in the portal. I think Mendoza's a pro quarterback. They went out and got pieces, guys from Notre Dame play offensive line, got a receiver from Michigan. They keep Surratt at in the wide receiver position. They still have their great defensive players at every level. So if you got tired of the Indiana story last year, I got bad news for you. I think they're going to hang around this year along with those lines of Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Washington, because when you like USC is a team with a ton of upside and has plenty of opportunity to wow people with their with the opportunities on their schedule. So to me, the biggest factor in as we move forward, those middle of the tier teams in the Big Ten that haven't made the playoff, what do they look like this year? Because they're way more formidable than they have been in years past.
Why do you like Ohio State against Texas?
I just feel like I could trust them more right now, Pauly. I don't love them, but you're going to be asked to make a pick on this game. Both teams have to replace a lot, and I think Ohio State's way more interesting because with Julian saying, you look at this piece, right? You got a first-time play caller and Hartline taking over. Offensive line has to make moves, but you still have familiar guys, including the best player in the country on the edge. That home crowd, Ohio State has plenty of talent on defense. I just trust Ohio State more right now. Now, at the end of the season, Texas could be a way better football team, but going on the road, Arch's first game, all the lights shining on them. And them, go back to the draft. Texas lost a ton on the offensive and defensive lines. And those things, Matt, you got to be able to rely on something early in the year. I just trust Ohio State a little bit more right now.
Which team do you trust more over the weekend coming up, Notre Dame or Miami, week 1?
I trust Notre Dame. I know it sounds crazy, but I think they led the country in pass defense last year, but they might be better this year. They're deeper. Leonard Moore, the freshman corner that got thrown to the Wolves last year, is an absolute superstar. The receivers are maybe the biggest upgrade of any position, maybe other than Michigan, you could put in that conversation for what they had. No offense to lacrosse players around the country, but he was one of their best receivers last year in Faison. Now they bring in guys that did it at Virginia and Wisconsin. Carr's got a better arm and thrower, even though Riley Leonard's actually impressed me in the preseason. But Notre Dame's got an identity. That offensive line's going to travel. Again, that defense. And Freeman gets his guys ready, man. They're not afraid of anything. It's really fun to watch. And I'm not even a Notre Dame fan, but I just trust Notre Dame playing well on the lines of scrimmage when they go up against Miami. Miami is a team that doesn't have any of their top 6 pass catchers. And we saw how comfortable Beck was with drops and things like that last year. A lot is going to be made of Miami's home crowd showing up in their defense. Miami's really good up front. And they're going to need it to play well, but I lean towards Notre Dame in that game. 90
seconds. You just said hardest teams to gauge. How about Monday night? You still got the greatest coach of all time, even if he doesn't have a lot of talent. Belichick's not going to out-coach people?
I get it. I'm just trying to put faces on. They don't even have jersey numbers in practice. Like he is going all the way old school. I'm sure they have face masks now, but with the helmet covers and no numbers on the jersey, I have no idea what to expect. I wish I had something, but you know him and not letting any information get out. They're going to be good defensively. His teams always have a good defense. His son actually did, I think, a great job at Washington last year in a team full of transfers. But, TCU has a quarterback, but Belichick's a young quarterback's worst nightmare, man. You want to mess with that in your first game? Yeah. I'm fired up to be there because that place is as nice a campus, and with it sold out, it'll be super exciting.
So you're going to go there with the whole crew after you're going to be in Columbus for a couple of days, obviously, for Texas, Ohio State. Then it's off to Chapel Hill.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. That's outstanding. Quickly here, week 1 best bet, any game on the board. What would it be?
It's really public, but I like Utah.
Oh, there's another guy.
Another one.
Oh, another one.
Is it more?
They might have the best offensive line in the country, guys. I mean, that's. And then I love the recipe of bringing the quarterback with the offensive coordinator, a la Oklahoma and Alabama bringing along the old offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
The quarterback doesn't have to learn it. The other guys do. That's way easier.
There you go. Well said. Thanks, pal. Enjoy New York.
You guys look great. Work on those tans.
Thank you.
In Pocket plays next.
Have you ever had to put your plans on hold due to symptoms of generalized myasthenia gravis, or GMG? Like taking that weekend trip, talking with friends, or enjoying a meal. Learn about a treatment option that may help. Visit treatgmg.com to learn more. That's treatgmg.com.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right. Need more of those. That was something Saturday afternoon. Ravens money line 30-3. Dan Quinn drops to 2-17 straight up last 19 preseason games.
Why'd you like him so much?
Incredible.
Just anti-Dan Quinn?
I bet the Bengals too Monday night. This guy just doesn't care. Doesn't put an emphasis at all on the preseason. Plus, it's horrible.
You got to be nuts for betting preseason football.
Well, 2-17. And I'll tell you, another guy in that category is Raheem Morris, who's yet to win a preseason game in Atlanta. This one was tough. Dodgers first 5. That was 2-1. Don't get any runs, not much for support for Snell in that one. Okay, to the new stuff. Phillies tonight, getting underway 4:10 Pacific against the Mets. Sanchez has been great. Senga's been awful since the break, and the Mets have lost 17-24. Chiefs, this continues to go up. Brazil. Chiefs money line against the Chargers. The loss of Slater. Remember the Chargers' record when they face good quarterbacks? 1-6. And Mahomes finds a way to beat the Chargers. I think they'll do it Friday night on YouTube in Brazil.
We have an update, by the way, that people might be pissed off about on YouTube TV.
Okay.
Can we talk about this? Our show's on YouTube TV, but
well,
you want it right now?
Go ahead.
Fox and YouTube are in a carriage dispute ahead of the college football season.
Are you kidding?
The deadline to reach an agreement is Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern. Auburn at Baylor, Texas, Ohio State could be impacted. Just reporting the news. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. This also is flipped. Angel Reese, tough one the other day. She had 11 points and then sat the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. Ridiculous. But she's on an 8-1 underrun now with her rebounds. She's been great with the points. The rebounds have been going under 8 of the last 9. And guess what? They're playing Cardasco major minutes. And it's Asia Wilson tonight. I don't think those rebounds are going to be there. Not to mention they could get run out against the hottest team in the WNBA, the Aces. Double-digit favorites on the road have won 10 in a row. Why? How do you go from 100-1 to 2-1 in 2 weeks? Here's how. 36-13, 19-13, 32-12, 34-8, 30-16, 17-16, 32-20, 29-12, 27-7. That's Wilson for the Aces.
I wonder how many people actually have her at 100 or in that neighborhood, because there was no reason to bet her. But then it also coincided with Collier going down and getting injured.
Yeah.
So this all happened at the same exact time.
Yeah.
So it was a perfect storm.
When did Collier get hurt?
August 2nd, I believe. She twisted her ankle, by the way, I think it was a blowout win over the Aces, actually.
So the game before, Wilson went for 34-10. So if you're thinking, hey, okay, Collier's out now here, but I don't think anyone saw this coming that they also won 10 games in a row.
No, now all of a sudden it's like, are they a title contender?
Are the Fever going to miss the playoffs?
Oh, boy.
That could happen. Mike Palm says yes. And I have to take the Royals tonight, $1.30 against the White Sox. They're only 3 back of the Mariners. They're on a 20-3 run against the White Sox. Witt owns Chicago. If you want to get involved with his props. But more so, Smith has been awful since the break. And an ERA of 7. Going back. So I'll trust Cameron and the Royals to get it done against the White Sox.
All right, best of luck, Pauly. This goes back to before I was on vacation. Packers +6 against the Colts. Got there. LaFleur won it again.
Outright.
Right?
Yeah, outright.
Every time after a loss, they've been great. The Raiders-49ers game actually went over. I don't want to relive it too much because it's been 10 days, but nine field goals in that game.
Never in doubt.
Including the one at the gun to go over 40.5. Earlier today, live on the show, gave out Liverpool, Newcastle over 4.5 at 2-1. That got there. Baseball going all the way back. Alcantara got me with the outs. That was against the Red Sox, I believe.
Yeah.
When he was gold in that game.
Yeah.
And the Diamondbacks, it was a parlay that I played. Those parlays will come back and bite you. I had them team total over 5.5 with Gordon over 3.5 runs combined +115. That was no good. So why would I be betting more parlays? I'll tell you in a second. But I'm on LSU plus the 4 against Clemson. I liked them. Anyway, I saw yesterday one book flashed 4.5 for a minute, went to bet it, no longer there. Now the 4s are mostly gone. You can still grab them at some spots, but Clemson's down to 3.5. I'll take the 4. I love Nussmeier. I know Brian Kelly.
You love Nussmeier?
Oh, he's, projected to be a top 5, top 10 pick. He was making a run for the Heisman last year.
Well, talk to me in April. And
trust me, he might be a third rounder.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is part of a hedge of my Brewers ticket at 14-1 for most wins in August. The Phillies are 2 games back of the Brewers right now. They start a 3-game set with the Mets tonight. You like Sanchez, you bet them. I'm betting the Phillies to win this series at even money. Did that earlier at Caesars. And hopefully they can win that. And the Brewers will still win the most wins in August. That'd be a nice kind of middle, I guess, to hit. And here are 2 more parlays that I've added. These are not easy. People tell you not to bet them. I personally like to make division parlays in baseball, the NBA, and the NFL. So here are 2 that I'm doing this year in the NFL. Did them just yesterday. That FanDuel. The Ravens to win the AFC North. Look, if the Bengals defense gets me, or a 40-plus-year-old Aaron Rodgers gets me in that division, I think the Ravens are probably the best team in the NFL. So I'm going to team them up with the Buccaneers to win the South. I'm not there. I think the Falcons can win 8 or 9 games. I think the Buccaneers can win 11 or 12 games. I'm absolutely in love with the offense. And you think there's a path for them to be the 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah. Yes.
So I bet the Ravens to win the North, the Bucs to win the South at plus 235. And I also added this one on it to make a 3-teamer. The Bills should run away and hide with the AFC East.
Yeah.
So the Bills, Ravens, Buccaneers division parlay pays plus 356. There you go.
All right, excellent. I'm waiting for the Sparks to play again. It's Rakia Jackson getting it done every single game.
Yeah, right.
For the Sparks. G-Bank built with sports bettors in mind. Right now, you can earn a $50 cashback reward bonus once you're approved and your account is open with the G-Bank Visa Signature Card. Most credit cards treat sports books and gaming transactions as cash advances, even when it's your own money. G-Bank treats them as regular purchases. No cash advance fees, saving up to 3 to 5% on every deposit. You'll earn 1% cash back on all eligible sports book and gaming transactions and 2% cash back on everything else you buy. Apply now. VEASAN.com/GBank. VEASAN.com/GBank.
We announced the new lineup here for the football season at VEASAN earlier this morning. You can go check it out on Twitter at VEASAN Live. It's also on the website at VEASAN.com. We are involved because we're going to be doing mornings again during the football season on Sundays. So at 9 a.m. Eastern time, 6 a.m. out here on the West Coast. It's not going to be called Follow the Money, though. It's going to be a tailgate show, getting you ready for all the games. It's going to be like, look, stuff is coming up right now. We have games kicking off like in 2 hours, in 90 minutes, in an hour. And we're going to keep track of all the inactives. We're going to keep track of all the players who are going to be deemed active, even though we thought that they might not be playing. All the breaking news as it happens. Hell, you're going to wake up early on Sunday morning, and you're probably going to miss stuff after you went to bed on Saturday night that's announced. Mm-hmm. So we're also going to have Dr. David Chow on after the inactives are announced. He'll break it down, tell you what it all means. Warren Sharp's going to be on the show twice every single week. And we're also going to have John Hansen on, the guru, who started his show again today, Fantasy Points, Prop Points, right here on VSiN. And so he's been in the industry for many, many, many years. He's awesome at it. So I can't wait, Pauly. Our alarms are going to go off early again, but I don't care. It's going to be a great show.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And when we got games going on as well. Amari Cooper with the Raiders, as you mentioned, on the day that Jacoby Myers requests a trade.
How about that, yeah?
Well, wants an extension, making $10 million this year. Hendrickson, deal done. Gets a raise in Cincinnati, mixing out the first 4 games. And what is Kellen Moore thinking about? Name a starting quarterback already.
There's only one guy that you can name. His name is not Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
He cannot be the starting quarterback.
Oh, they're going to be bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to be some outfit in New Orleans.
Following us, Tim Murray is going to be hosting VSiN Primetime for 4 hours. And a tip of the cap to Tim, to his producer Justin, to Matt Humans.
Yeah.
I thought the shows over the weekend, and they were both awesome, getting ready for the Hawaii game. But on Saturday, when they did it from the Sheraton there in Waikiki, and the backdrop and the scenes that they had, to put that all together and go there, it's one of the highlights of, in my opinion, of the 8.5 years that VSiN's been on the air. So great job by Timmy, by Matty Ice, by Justin, everybody else on the crew involved in putting those broadcasts on. And now Tim's back. How about that for a team player from Hawaii to do the show tonight?
And then Hawaii covered.
Yeah, got the job done. Even better. Cashing Out follows with Dustin. Great job. Dustin's now hosting for 3 hours every single night. Wake up early tomorrow with VSiN by the books. Good luck tonight.
Have you ever had to put your plans on hold due to symptoms of generalized myasthenia gravis, or GMG? Like taking that weekend trip, talking with friends, or enjoying a meal. Learn about a treatment option that may help. Visit treatgmg.com to learn more. That's treatgmg.com.